Hey, here's a quick PSA just so you know. We actually recorded this episode last week before we recorded the episode that you heard last week. So the order of them is a little bit wonky, and we may reference things that already happened, but we just wanted to give you a heads up before you listen to this episode.
What's up, everybody? It's Joe La Puma. You were watching the Complex Sneakers podcast. As always, I'm joined by my two friends, my co-hosts. To my right, Mr. Matt Welty.
We are here early, right?
Early morning. Got off a couple bad takes off camera already, but that's okay.
I think they'll hold up over time.
Okay. To my left, Mr. Brendan Dunne. How we doing?
I'm okay. I was a little late to the shoot this morning.
Yeah, don't let it happen again, okay?
I had to steam my shirt out.
Yeah, you got a Brooks Brothers?
This is JJJJound, thank you.
Oh, look it.
He's more
this week. JJJJound, this week.
I'd say are you more the JJJJound guy?
Than him or in general?
Brendan's the JJJJound guy.
I thought he was a Tom Sachs guy.
Yeah, you can't make up a new guy for me to be.
Well,
every week.
I feel like if you take the
Venn diagram,
the Venn diagram of Tom Sachs guy and JJJJound guy, there's a lot of like overlap in the middle on that.
And I'm him, you're saying?
What would you say the
Sneaking that in as many.
Yep.
What would you say
Beating that horse
there's the part of there's the part on the Venn diagram, right?
Okay.
Tell me about the Venn diagram.
Go, let's
Right.
hear
So
it.
the Venn diagram you have.
Okay, what does the circle? What does the circle say?
Tom Sachs guy,
JJJJound.
JJJJound guy.
Okay.
What parts of those things are like mutually exclusive?
You're the one making.
No, so I'm asking you. What do you think? What do you think parts of the JJJJound guy is that isn't the Tom Sachs guy, and vice versa?
I don't know.
I don't have an answer for that.
Too early for that?
I don't
I don't
know.
have an answer for that.
I mean, the Kayanos that you wore.
I don't know. I didn't know if there was like certain characteristics of someone who's a Tom Sachs guy who also doesn't overlap with who the JJJJound person is.
I'll have to think long and hard about it. I will spend the next week and a half thinking
Paying
about that.
$10,000 for resale. Maybe that's
It's something I've never done.
No, but I'm saying the Tom Sachs guy
Oh, okay.
may have to
maybe,
do that versus
maybe.
the JJJJound person.
All right, listen, we're cracking some cases today. This morning.
I guess
You got a
so.
late start this morning?
I mean, I would say it was a normal start, but we started extra early.
But you didn't work out.
I didn't work out, so
What?
Yeah, so
I was supposed to go to a 6 a.m. class, and I didn't set my alarm, thinking that I'd wake up.
After all the IG stories about do the work every day and all these mantras and stuff.
I don't post do the work
No?
every day.
What?
You don't post some
I
other
don't
things?
post. I've never said do the work every day.
You know? Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm not trying to. I feel like you post. Joe, am I wrong that he posts stuff like that?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Wait.
I might say do the work and get the results, but
No, he always
I
posts-
don't post like do the work every day.
He,
I mean, not
he always
verbatim.
posts him under stress, like almost didn't make it today. That you do, which is fine, right?
Well, if you know how I felt in that moment,
Okay, but there's many moments like that, like
dude.
a couple times a week.
Yeah, I mean you die, literally.
Okay, so no workout. Is it like when there's no workout? What's the vibe like? Fine.
How do you get the aggression out?
Weird.
You want to play
Well,
Street
look,
Fighter?
Play Street Fighter.
Okay, weird.
We're done.
Wait, can we crack another case?
Yeah, let's go.
Because I want to talk about John Geiger and Nike.
Oh yes,
They settled their lawsuit.
yes they did.
Incredible. Congrats to John. I think regardless of how you feel about the work, Welty's has a smirk crawling across his face, and I don't know why. I think you have to commend somebody for going to war with a gigantic corporation like Nike and arguably winning. I mean, he didn't win a lawsuit, but he gets to continue to produce his shoes. He has to change them a little bit. I want to read the statement out here, but it takes so much energy, so many resources, so much patience to have one of those legal battles with a gigantic company like that.
Well,
and not to just fold, which is what people expect of you. So you have to congratulate. You have to respect him for that.
The biggest takeaway, I guess, and everyone said it was like the biggest win, is that in the statement that he posted, there was the part where it says Nike respects John Geiger and creators like him.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
the work of creators.
Yeah, like that joint statement, being able to put that out, and again have it be about more than just a lawsuit.
It's
and
just
have
at one
Nike
point,
say,
Nike respects
yeah,
John Geiger.
That's a flex. Like that's an achievement, and congrats to him. I think there's a lot of people, and I'm not saying this is me, but there's a lot of people who don't like his work, or like, and I'm not a fan of that stuff in general. Not John Geiger's, but like I don't like the whole wave that came after it. I don't need a bootleg shoe with, a pistol on it or a samurai sword on it. I'm not putting John Geiger in there, but
I don't.
Regardless of if you don't like that stuff, you have to respect somebody going to war with Nike.
I would
like
say that John's work, is not like, maybe he inspired people to put like a dick on the side of Air Jordan 1.
we came back to that,
Which did. I mean,
it did happen. Yeah,
it did
that's
happen.
factual.
But I would put his work more along the lines of like when you see like the high fashion brands try to like loosely be inspired by, like, you had like those Margiela Jordan 4s.
Yep. Yep.
I would put it more like in that category than like the knockoff Jordan 1 stuff.
Yeah, or all the dunks that came out. So can I read the statement briefly? Because I feel like it's important. And for people who don't know, this is John Geiger, JFO1 shoes that look rather like Air Force Ones. Nike sued him over it because of the close likeness, and they've been going at it for a while now. It's not resolved. The statement, this is a joint statement from Nike and John Geiger, says Nike and John Geiger have resolved the lawsuit related to Nike's Air Force One trade dress and John Geiger's footwear products, specifically GFO1 shoes. The lawsuit has been resolved through an amicable resolution that includes a consent judgment. As part of the resolution, John Geiger has agreed to modify the design of his GFO1 shoes, and here's the important part, Welty, like you mentioned, quote, Nike respects John Geiger as a designer and other designers like him, and both parties are pleased to resolve this dispute in a way that allows John Geiger to continue building his brand while also respecting Nike's intellectual property rights in its iconic Air Force One trade dress. It's interesting, too, the part about respecting other designers like him. Maybe this is taking it too far, but is that a signal that Nike is not going to be so protective about this trade dress going forward?
Well, I read it as that, and this is me just reading into it, is that it feels like John especially, and the people who make shoes like him or a part of that whole
the wave
space.
Yeah.
It feels like they're pretty much like a community to some
I know what you mean.
degree.
They have to fight some of the same battles and worry about the same
and they
things.
kind of like stick up for each other, or kind of like put each other in each other's shoes, like literally. And figure, So I feel like a lot of them are kind of like, if I get the chance to do this, I'm going to make sure that Nike doesn't shit on all of us.
Yeah.
So it's almost like him putting it out there for the rest of them at the same time.
Yeah, like he fought the battle. Yeah, congratulations.
Congrats. Couldn't have been an easy set of months.
God.
He stuck to it. And also, I think even like 20 hours ago, he put like the modified version already. So he had it in the tuck.
And he's releasing shoes this weekend,
Yeah.
Well, it's also interesting too, because, the John Geiger backstory, not to go like super far into it, but obviously like, we had him on here and he spoke about it, but like, working on the Darrell Revis shoe with Ken Link, getting royalties for it, but then also doing like, being part of like Nike's like Air Force One influencer program at some point, and doing the misplaced checks. And I think, was it Mayer was on here who said he wanted to do the Air Force One collaboration, and he was like, I want to do it with John Geiger, and Nike was like, no, we're not going to do that.
Oh, you're right. He did have a story, something like that. Yeah.
So it feels like the chip on John's back through it all stems from much more than just the GF01 shoe, where this is like a culmination of like the past 10 years of him feeling slighted by Nike, where it's finally like all of that is resolved outside of like just the GF01 shoe.
Yeah. So salute to him. And obviously we've reached out to him for further comment. I don't think he can say a lot about it at this point. We would love to talk about it in depth with him at some point. I hope we get the opportunity to do on this podcast, but also I'm sure he is so tired of dealing with it and wants to move on. So we respect that if that ends up being
out there
the case.
chilling in Puerto Rico or whatever.
He's I think he's in Miami. I saw a sprinter van, he said, cruising around Miami.
Love that.
Good for him.
I'm gonna be down south.
You going to Atlanta after this?
So we're recording this a week early. So I'm heading to Atlanta very shortly. And pleased to see that Delta upgraded me to first class.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, so the gold medallion is paying off.
Okay.
Working on the gold for the next
All right,
year.
so
I don't know if we're going to
okay,
hit
you're
that.
flying first class. What's the itinerary in first class? Do you get Atlanta's 2-hour flight, right? Two and change.
I don't know. You go more than me.
Yeah,
I've
I
never
go a lot too.
Exactly.
But
famously.
Yeah, famously.
I've never been to
He
Atlanta.
avoids Atlanta.
I know. Atlanta's an amazing city. Get to see our boy Trinidad.
I don't think he'll be
Okay.
there. Hopefully run into Ticket Jerry.
So what's the itinerary? You in first class? Are you getting a glass of red wine? What's the deal? What's the deal? Are you putting the recline all the way back? What are you doing?
I don't know. I'm not there very often.
Okay.
So I'll probably take a nap.
All right.
Is it more of a
Anticlimactic, but that's
more,
okay.
Is it more of a flex the post that you're in first class, or is the real flex being in first class and not having to IG story it?
I mean,
The
people-
latter, right?
Yeah, people don't do that a lot, do they?
They do. Are you kidding me?
I see that a decent amount.
All the time.
Like the feet photo, the IG stories of like your feet, and it's the extra leg room, and you're in the.
Oh,
little,
okay.
You know what I
That's
mean?
okay. Yeah.
I know what you mean, Welty. I'm not. I promise I won't do that.
Okay.
All right. What spots are you hitting?
In Atlanta, I
Yeah.
don't really know what.
Got to go to Gus's Fried Chicken. That's
Okay.
a sneaker shopping crew staple.
Okay, the thing is too
It's
that
amazing.
I'm flying there on Friday night, and I'm flying back on Sunday morning, and we'll
Okay.
probably go tailgating on Saturday for
What's on the menu for that?
for the tailgating.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Just find some sausages, find some glizzies, you know. But
Did you guys see? I feel like we've been tagged in a lot. There's like the hot dog that's like it's like the reverse dog.
Yeah.
deep sigh.
Keep going.
The
Go
hot
ahead.
dog with the
Go
bun
ahead.
with the bun in the
He
middle.
was trying to skip the
Another
glizzy.
week, another tag. I get it.
No.
But go. You were finish what you were saying.
But real quick, yes.
The dog hot.
At
as they
this
refer
point,
to it.
honestly, feel free to keep tagging us in them. But when I get tagged in another hot dog thing, I barely look at it. for
Actually, my
more than
favorite
0.7
one
seconds.
that we got tagged in recently was like the young kid sitting on the couch with a
Yeah.
bowl of glizzies.
Oh,
Yeah.
They also look like they were uncooked.
Yeah, didn't it say like kids will eat anything or something? That was the
Yeah.
caption.
So I'm not going to be in Atlanta for very long, so I only have maybe 1 or 2 meals to really indulge in there. So
Okay.
you got to give me the best of the best.
I will. I'll think about it. But go to Gus's for
What about
lunch.
Spondivits?
Never been there.
Okay.
I feel like you gotta pay homage to one Trinidad James. Just go to
Yeah.
American Deli.
Oh, American Deli, good spot.
Okay. People are gonna be so mad when they listen to this and they're like, "You should be eating it." Da 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 da.
I know.
Oh, so funny. I still need to actually book the travel arrangements, but I'm gonna go see my folks this weekend
Okay.
in New Hampshire, and I was like in between. So I usually take the Amtrak.
Acela?
I usually take the Amtrak up.
You like
just-
Amtrak?
It's just easier for me. I feel like a lot of the times because
You have a hard time with TSA?
You guys?
no, it's just like you can just go like the whole process of just going to the train station and hopping on the train and
Is-
just like you just
Here at Penn Station.
yeah, or I go to Newark, but
Sure.
you could just go and then you have like Wi-Fi. You could just kind of do your whole day just sitting in the train and
Go to the
everything.
cafe car, get some snacks. Or
Everything-
Ooh, love the diner
It
car.
just it's
You know that I used to do. Sorry to interrupt, but
No, it's fine.
is before I forget. Before we go too far, you guys know I used to do
yeah,
West
so-
Palm Beach.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
I brought that up.
We've heard
Yeah,
about
we're
it.
talking about
Sorry.
with Pete.
Okay, my bad. Go.
No,
go.
it's fine. No, so
No,
I
we
was
forget.
like, it's just less of like logistics of like going to the airport and dealing with
course.
I
like,
agree.
all that stuff. You
I
just get
agree.
on the train, you go. It takes a little longer, but you have Wi-Fi and the seats, whatever. But I was like looking at the flights too because it's like cheaper to fly than it is because Amtrak's expensive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's prohibitively expensive.
Yes.
Amtrak should be half as much in order to make it enticing.
Yeah, it's like, but the one-way trip is like more than the round trip flight.
Oh wow.
Okay.
So either way, but I was looking at it and like the flights come up and this made me laugh. So it's like the lists all the options, right? For to
Yeah.
go from Newark to Boston.
Stop in Atlanta or something.
No, yeah. So the first one that comes up is a Spirit flight, and
Already you're in trouble.
the flight is from Newark to Myrtle Beach to Boston. It's like
Yeah.
it's like 11 and a half hour total flight for like 150. I'm like, who?
But
Yeah.
In what circumstance
yeah.
would you be like, you know
okay,
what?
cool.
Like, I'm gonna fly from Newark all the way down to South Carolina and all the way back up to
Oh
Boston.
my god. But are you still gonna fly?
think so.
Okay.
When are you leaving tomorrow?
Yeah, I need to sort it all out after this.
All right.
I'll figure it out. I love the train though.
Yeah.
I love. I'm sure I've said
Me
it before,
too.
but we used to take Amtrak, the Empire Builder, from Idaho to Oregon and back. That's a beautiful train ride. We should do. I wish Amtrak could sponsor us. Imagine we did like podcasts on the road all across Middle America, podcasting from. No, you don't. You don't.
That'd be cool.
I don't know. To me,
Speaking of
I like
Middle
Amtrak.
America,
yeah, it's
Nice
very
boys
romantic
trip.
to me.
speaking of Middle America, what about our guy Mosh, another shoe customizer with the corn kid?
Yes.
That was great. That was great.
That corn kid.
That was great.
I hope he.
He eats literally. and figuratively?
Yes, exactly. I wish him all the success in the world. He's a genius. Mosh had him promoting because Mosh had the yellow cord sneaker and he
Yeah.
has the video with the kid. Cone.
Isn't I know we've had the corn talk before. Isn't our coworker Zach DeBasic a fan of eating raw corn?
What?
I don't want to misrepresent
Where did that come from?
how he enjoys corn, but we did have a corn debate one time in a group chat, and
Oh.
I forget exactly where people's allegiances lie, but I'm a corn off the cob guy.
Either or for me.
Really?
I feel like, growing up, it was always like, like the corn skewers
Yes.
that are like pieces of corn.
Yeah.
Skewer it, and then you'd have like the thing with butter,
Yes.
like the
butter
butter where
the
you
butter.
could you could roll it. Yeah,
Yeah, a little rotisserie type of thing.
big fan of that.
Okay.
Big fan of sneakers. Should we give away some sneakers?
You don't want to talk more about corn?
No.
Okay.
You want to talk about Hasbulla's sneaker collection flex yesterday?
That was, yeah. I mean, they must have, like, it was just, he just
he
had
went-
the shoes on the bed,
He
right?
went to Australia and some store gave him like 20 pair of the
Oh,
shoes.
okay.
Would you take him sneaker shopping? Have we had this conversation before?
I think so, yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You would do it?
Yeah.
I mean, what would you do if he attacks you halfway through the shoot?
I think that's his thing, though.
But what would
Yeah.
you do in the situation?
I mean,
Would you pull a Caleb and like fight back with him?
I
or-
would hope Dave Matthews steps in maybe as like a sacrificial,
Shout out
you
to our
know,
producer,
that's
Dave
Dave
Matthews.
Matthews.
Oh my God! You know what's crazy? This is maybe too inside baseball, but while we record these, our producer Dave Matthews watches remotely, and
Yep.
oftentimes he's typing responses in
Yep.
Slack to everything we're saying.
Yep.
And I know, and I never watch them, Dave. Just so you know, I'm here like performing right now, like I'm working, like I'm not
Okay.
reading your fucking Slack messages. But I know that when we get done with this, there's going to be 17 Slack messages about where I should eat in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause he's a big.
Wait a minute. Time out.
What?
You're burying the lead. You're not going to see Dave Matthews in Atlanta? What?
Because Dave lives at Dave.
Oh.
Dave, we'll go out to dinner.
Really? Okay. I didn't, listen. I thought maybe a coffee. And you went straight from not
don't
seeing
know.
him to dinner?
I don't know.
All right. Maybe.
What do you think, Welty?
Yeah, sure.
Wow. Forgot Dave is in Atlanta.
Okay.
Forgot.
Okay. Let's not forget we're giving away sneakers, right?
Yes, it's time.
That's what's important. Every week on the Complex Sneakers podcast, we give away a free pair of sneakers with our friends at eBay, courtesy of their Authenticity Guarantee program. It's only open to U.S. residents, and that does include Georgia, but Dave Matthews, don't enter, please.
But not the country, Georgia, where the kid wants the shoes.
Right. Important distinction. Definitely have to mention that. You can go to ebay.complex.com to enter. What you do there is you submit a question for us to respond to here on the air. If we pick your question, if we respond to it, we're going to send you a free pair of sneakers. Welty, what are we giving away this week?
Oh, well, a shoe that I feel like we've spoken about quite a few times on the show.
Oh, I see the packaging.
This is the best Adidas sneaker of the year. Right?
Gucci.
Yep.
Is
Definitely.
this the best Adidas sneaker of the year?
Maybe maybe top 2, top 3.
The,
Oh,
the gentle
There it is.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I've seen these in person yet.
Oh,
Gucci,
it's
Adidas,
crazy.
Gazelle.
So when everyone first saw this shoe, they're like, "Oh, it's just a Gazelle with Adidas branding on it." You know what I mean? But this
Wait,
shoe,
a Gazelle with Adidas branding or Gucci branding?
Gucci branding. But the more you like look at it,
Yeah.
the more this really is like a Gucci sneaker.
Yeah.
that just happens to have Adidas
It's awesome.
on it. Because I mean, it's even crazy. It's like
Can I look at one of the shoes?
There's
I
like
don't
a-
want to
there's
do
like
the
a-
classic like
oh,
you throw.
no, there's like a piece of paper right here where it says Gucci remove only after sale, like on the tongue.
Yeah, pass
Want
it
me to
down
pass
there.
it to him?
Gingerly.
Really-
I got it.
So
This
gingerly.
is a great
Kind of a
pair.
ginger
I
colorway, right?
The shoes come in the shoes come in these Adidas Gucci dust bags.
Nice.
Doesn't smell the best.
Oh, There he goes.
Sorry, go on.
He's going to like rip half the things off the shoe.
Yeah. I like the pink colorway best, but I love these too. What a great collaboration. They really nailed it.
Yeah, this is something special. And the tread on the bottom with the interlocking G's. Are you asking for the shoe back? Is that what you're doing?
You're afraid like
the
more seconds that like the
little,
chart of the more seconds it's in your hand, the higher.
It's true. That's what I mean. That's why
me dropping it or fucking it up for the giveaway. For
you
the
like
young man
ripping
who's getting
something off the shoe.
Okay.
Great pair though.
Who are we giving these shoes away to?
We are giving these shoes away to Brian Rockwell, Fairfax, Virginia. Brian asks, do you ever think your collection will be considered complete?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
No. I mean, I think there's a lot of people who think of themselves more as collectors. I don't know how often I use that word to describe myself, but who are trying to finish a certain kind of collection. Like, we have people who are friends with, who are trying to get every pair of the original 1985 Jordan 1s in every colorway, high and low. So stuff like that, when you have a specific goal, then I understand, like, okay, I'm done. But I'm interested in new sneakers coming out. I could never just abstain from everything happening in the world of sneakers year in and year out just because I got the one shoe I wanted. You know what I mean?
Well, we had this talk about, we did the rarest Jordan collection recently, and how those are collectible sneakers. And I think that there's two sides where obviously some people, that collection is unbelievable, but I think some people look at, I want sneakers that I could wear.
Yes.
And I think that there's, like I said, there's two sides, but that totally makes sense, that collectors versus like, I want rare sneakers or I want new sneakers to wear.
Yeah. I just like.
You guys think that you're going to have like in the house any sneakers on display when like.
No.
On display, no. I am not the guy to put them on display. Okay. I will stack them up. I will try and put them.
Sneaker artwork on your wall somewhere?
Never, ever.
No?
No.
Okay.
I will put them on my feet. I will stack the boxes up precariously. But people don't need to see them a lot. I do hope to continue to downsize over the years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would love to get to a more manageable number year after year. But Welty, what about you?
Yeah, I don't consider myself a collector at all.
Okay.
I'm a person who has a lot of shoes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go and try to hunt down rare shoes from the past. I don't like try to buy a pair of 2003 whatever online. I know a lot of people like that. People who's like, you go to their house and everything's like alphabetically like sorted and has all the original like dust tag bits and everything like put away like neatly in the box, and they're like so precious about it and they want to get everything. And I just don't consider myself one of those people, and there's like nothing against that. I'm just not one of those people who gets off on like going to buy like 1980 something New Balances and just have them in a box in my house.
Yeah.
It's not my thing.
Do you have anything like that?
No.
Any just ones that are just strictly kind of like, you could never wear them and they're.
Oh, funny story. I actually made a decision the other day. So there's a random shoe I had in my house, right? And this was from when I first started at Complex.
Okay.
And it was the Adidas Prime Boost.
Okay.
It was a shoe that released right before the Ultra Boost.
Yeah.
And I think they were like $200 or something like that. They were super expensive.
The sole is a little thinner, right?
Sole's a little thinner, and like the prime knit upper is like a little like stretchier or whatever. Anyways, I think I had worn them to the office. This is when I was still living in Central Jersey, and I took the NJ Transit back home.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I had like a few drinks after work or something like that, and I had changed my I had changed my shoes out. And
you change your shoes at work, or
on the train?
I had like had the shoes with me that day, but I had changed it to another pair of sneakers and like had the shoes with me, right? So I was wearing the Prime Boost at some point in the day, but I had changed out of them.
Okay.
Put them in my like tote bag, go home, and I don't know what happened, but somehow I get home and there's only one shoe in the bag.
Did you leave it at the office?
No.
You left it on the train?
It must have fallen out of my tote bag.
Damn. That's a rough one.
All these years in my sneaker room in the corner, I've just had this left Prime Boost, and it's just been sitting there. in the hopes back of my head, I'm like, oh, maybe I'm like, no, you'll never find a shoe. You've moved houses since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's long gone.
And I made the decision to just throw the shoe away.
That's growth. That's a big sign of, when we let go of things like that.
It's like I just took it and threw it in the trash, and I was like, it's a left shoe. You can't even give it to someone. Like, what's the point of this? Like,
Yeah. I'm glad you let go.
I think that's the right decision.
That's a good lesson. I'm not even being facetious. It's a good lesson, and just
cutting ties and
multiple lessons there.
Yeah,
Multiple lessons.
very much so. All right, we do have a guest today, so let's bring on our guest.
Our guest on today's podcast played in the NBA for over 7 years. He started collecting sneakers at an early age, and when he turned pro, he was quietly building his collection to become one of NBA's sneaker kings. Cycling through rare Jordans, Kobe's, and LeBron's on court, and with a closet full of gems at home, he parlayed his passion for shoes into multiple sneaker deals. First with performance basketball company Q4 Sports, and more recently starting his own sneaker company, the brand Ethics, which he co-founded with his wife Sabrina and launched in 2021. The brand features well thought out on-court designs, including an all-vegan basketball silhouette. Today, he's here to talk about his brand and his long sneaker history. Please welcome to the Complex Sneakers podcast, Langston Galloway. Welcome, Langston. So happy to have you.
Thank you.
How you feeling, man?
Feeling good. Appreciate you guys having me on. I'm excited to be here. I've watched you guys' podcasts so many times over the years. So
beautiful. Yeah, thanks for coming through. We it's funny, we were talking about this right before you came on about being a collector or whether or not we consider ourselves collectors. And I feel like you can relate to this. You have a ton of shoes and you have some special stuff, and we'll get into all that. But do you feel like you're a sneaker collector? Like, are you trying to get the specific things and finish the? You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I think I'm more of a historian. I like to just collect the history. Like when I first started collecting, I was like, I'm not gonna collect all just the GRs and the PEs and all that. I was like, hey, I want to get all the nostalgia, like the kicks that I grew up, the Jordans, the Asics, the Sauconys. Like I wanted to collect all the kicks that I grew up on. And then like now I'm like, all right, I'll get the PEs, I'll get the the special collabs and stuff like that now. But when
money
I first
changes
started,
you, right?
Yeah. It's like, hey, you gotta enjoy the process, because I'll have a lot of kicks now. So
but I feel like, and maybe some people will disagree with this, but I feel like sometimes you cross the threshold to becoming a collector when you have the whole drop top shoebox.
That's when you know you're serious about it. Drop front shoe,
Drop fronts. Yeah. I have all that. Yeah.
That's what I mean. You have your collection where you can kind of view everything and take stock of what you have.
Right. Yeah. And now it's all about everybody compares each other's collection. Yeah. Now you go to one guy's collection. Oh man, what you got? And he's like, you looking around? Oh, okay. Oh, you got that? Oh, I got that. And it's like, it's always a comparing,
taking some notes. Let me get that.
Yeah. It's like who's who, and then now everybody's fighting the. Everybody has one guy that they call hey, I need this shoe, I need that shoe, and it's like everybody wears the same size.
Who's the guy?
I can't remember.
I feel like looking at your stuff, I feel like that you came up on a lot of when you were going through your collection with our friend George Keel.
Yep.
A few years ago, it was I got a good price from this person. Is there one central plug, or are you on the WhatsApp? Are you always looking to get deals and shoes that you haven't been able to get yet?
No, I'm all over the place.
Okay.
I'm no secret to going on eBay and getting sneakers.
Shout out to eBay.
I'm big, big shout out to eBay. Big shout out to eBay. I love eBay. I'll go on Kick Square, Grail.
No, you should have stopped at eBay. Come on, man. Don't mess this up for us.
You said though, it's everyone wants to compare or when you're in the locker room.
Yep.
Do you feel like, obviously sneakers are huge in the NBA, but there was some people who they thought in their head that they would try you, you know what I mean? Where they're oh, of course I'm crushing it, but then when you actually saw what they had, you're like, oh man, I just crushed that guy.
Yeah, no, I've ran into a couple people man, my collection's crazy, and I walk in and I'm like, okay, there's a moment you're like, all right, dog. I really. You can't say it to his face. You just oh man, this is dope. You got a dope collection.
You're I drove all the way out here for this.
Yeah, and it's dang.
Anybody we can name?
Nah. I don't want to make anybody feel bad, man. Because over time, guys start getting more and more into their collection, and they get PEs and samples. So you never want to question nobody's dreams.
Do you draw the line then when? Obviously, there's a lot of people in the NBA who are considered some of the biggest sneakerheads, but I think a lot of some players' collections maybe come from their connection at the brand.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like they're either getting made special shoes or getting sent special shoes, but maybe they're not as much of like someone who's out there buying and collecting all this sort of stuff, where I feel like you're the sort of guy who it's like your collection's a lot of like what you actually acquired.
Yeah.
Do you view those differently, where it's like, yeah, you have a crazy collection, but Jordan sent you all those shoes?
Yeah, no, I respect the guys that have gone through I don't want to say the struggle, but just like, just they've gone out and found people to, hey, I have to buy this.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, let's do a trade to, I know you always talk about reselling sneakers and stuff like that. So, you gotta make some deals here and there to try to find ways to kind of get sneakers. And that's what I've done over the years. Like, this guy's like, hey, look, I'll trade you this for this, and then you get this. I'm like, okay, all right, let's do it.
What are some of the trades? I need to know.
I've traded tickets for games.
For sneakers?
For sneakers.
Yeah.
I've done like a jersey or some shorts or something like that. Just different things over the years that I've just traded, and guys be like, all right, I'll get you these for that price. All right, cool.
We do want to talk about the sneakers we're wearing on feet. We always like to spend a little bit of time on that. Langston, can you tell us what you have on?
Yep, I have the Gumbo colorway of LG1s. So check them out, ethicsofbrand.com. Go tune in. They'll be out September 15th, 20th, so be on the lookout.
Very nice. I'm doing the Aqua Adidas ZXs.
Nice shoe.
I feel like I don't bring these out enough, but I recently reorganized everything. Or reorganized is the wrong word, but all my shoes fell over, and I put them all back up, and I was able to find these.
I did see that. Yeah. I saw the picture of
We're back.
Yeah, we're back.
Doing Coral Studios Air Max 95. Love these.
Big JLP shoe.
Yeah, I love these. Bring them back every couple months.
Wearing a shoe from a friend. These are the Anderson Blue Diodora N9000 ice cream shoes.
Nice.
Shout out.
Nice.
Ice cream, man.
Ice cream paint job.
All right.
Beautiful.
You played with Carmelo, who's like was locked into Jordan Brand. Did you see some crazy stuff? I feel like every time that, we talk about people who played with players with real like significant sneaker deals, we see sometimes through the tunnel, but it's what like the whole audience doesn't see.
Yeah.
Players like Carmelo coming through the locker room, or Chris Paul, and some crazy stuff. Did you ever see anything crazy through that Jordan deal and Carmelo's deal?
Yeah, no, I've been to both of their collections.
Okay.
Been at their houses and seen it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like stuff that you won't it will never come to light, and I got a chance to get inside access to check it out.
Okay.
And, I've picked to try to prod them to say, hey, look, let me get one pair.
Yeah.
Like, that's a special pair. Like, that's a 1 of 1, and this, that, and the third. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. But, one day, I think they'll.
Did
let me
it
get a
ever
pair.
work? Did you ever get him to come?
I
off
got a couple
something?
pairs. I got a couple pairs of Melos like, in his size.
Sick.
Simple samples.
Is he the same size as you?
He's a 14, 15, something like that.
Yeah.
But CP actually wears the same size as me. So I got a couple like sample golf shoes.
Have you seen his? Because I know people always talk about like his PE Jordan collection.
Crazy.
That like
I heard that
Crazy.
is
that he's
one of
never,
the craziest.
That he's like
Insane.
he doesn't show the world, but
Because he
has-
seems like such a humble guy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
or
he
a guy
has-
who's not-
He's all about ball.
Like the
That's
one-
it. That's it.
the one shoe I think that stuck out the most. I remember I actually we were talking about Khaled before. I got to ask Khaled about it in the past. Was he really wanted those like emerald Jordan 11s that Chris Paul had? And he's like, Chris Paul, I need these shoes.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da. And that I feel like that's like one of the craziest flexes, because it's not even just like, it's more than a PE. It's just like this 101.
Yeah, it's he has history. Like every shoe, like he can kind of go back and tell you every story about each of his shoes that he has. Like the Jeter 11s.
Yeah.
Like I remember seeing those and touching them. I was like, yo, like these cost $100,000. He's like, for real, like
He had no
idea. But like guys tell him, he just like, man, like I'm gonna wear them, like and then,
cool
like,
story.
Then a couple of days later, he wears the shoes. You're like, oh, okay, all right, that's how you feel. Like you just gonna flex on all of us, huh? But yeah, now he has some like different games that he's won, like got into All-Star games. Jordan does like different like collabs for the guys. Like if you win something, like you'll get like a specific pair. Like he has a ton of those where it just you're like, man, like this pair never even came out. And he's like, yeah, Jordan took care of me.
Did you try to trade any of your shoes for any of those?
I left it alone.
What sticks out besides the Jeters? Anything that comes to mind?
He had a couple pairs that he had like a Hornets colorway that I saw that was crazy.
11?
Yeah, it was 11. He had a Clippers pair, then he had a couple like just off the wall colorways. I was like, yo,
Here's
what
some
is
Jordan
this?
4s. Remember those Jordan 4s he wore for one of his like
think so, yeah.
bowling thing? Or
Yeah,
is
probably
he
a bowling event or
yeah.
something like that. Like he
He's
has
a big
pair that
bowler,
you just
right?
like, what is this color for? And he you know, he runs off a list of like, hey, I did this, and you're like, okay, I mean, it doesn't make sense, but all right,
Yeah.
cool. I mean, not to
If you
me,
say
but
so.
maybe to him. Yeah, it's for him. So, and his collection is not like the stuff that he has at his house, like right now, like it's not everything. Like, he has a ton of stuff in storage.
Yeah.
And like I remember, you know, he used to tell me, yo, whatever shoe you want, just let me know. And he would just go to the store. Like he would tell somebody, go to storage, and then probably 2-3 days later, like it would show up in the locker room. Yo,
Wow.
Lang, here you go, take this. I'm like, all right, cool.
Wow.
Appreciate
He's
it.
just giving you shoes like that.
Just give me shoes like that.
Did you tell him I need the 11?
Yeah.
Dude, what shoes did he give you?
He gave me some old school, his 1s, 2s, 3s, all that's come out, but it was like like different colorways that, you know, he wore in the past, and he was just like, yo, I don't want these no more. It just been sitting. And I wore them in the games when I was a free agent. Right after I left Q4, I was a free agent. Right before I started my own brand, and then I wore those in a couple of like the playoff games and stuff like that. And then he just gave me, the new pair that he just launched, but
Yeah.
he never got a chance to wear them because it was just like, a lot of issues, like trying to figure it all out with, what was going forward with Jordan.
Sure.
And so,
Sure.
And so he was like, yo, you rock them for me. And you can, bring the publicity to it. So I was like, cool. I'm going to rock them in the games.
Yeah.
I think my favorite sneaker moment of yours might be an underrated one, but going back to the playoffs, you came out the tunnel with the pink New Balance 991s
Yeah.
on with like the crazy like patchwork
Yeah.
fit. That's like the one. I don't know why. It just like 'cause I was a New Balance guy, but it just like
Yeah.
sticks out in my head. I'm just like, man.
Nah, that's why I tell everybody, like, New Balance, Sauconys, Asics. Like, I try not to just wear, the Nikes, the Adidas, the Jordans. Like, those brands are great. I'm not going to knock them, nothing like that. But, like, I just like, something comfortable, something just to walk around. And, like, those brands, like, they're killing it right now. I give them a lot of props. And, hopefully one day I get up there with my brand. But,
Yeah.
right now I'm just enjoying the process of, the daily grind.
It's so cool too because I feel like so many people in the NBA are affiliated automatically with Nike, Jordan, or Adidas. It's like such a huge percentage. So you don't really see NBA players that much wearing the cool New Balance shoes that are coming out, or a random pair of Asics or something like that. And I feel like that's almost a way you can diversify yourself in that setting where it's like, yeah, everybody has their Nike person. Everybody has the Nike Elite account.
Everybody's connected somehow, some way.
Yeah, but the one thing they can't do is actually wear Asics or wear New Balance or something like that.
They can't like, go off the wall and like find something like, and most of it's crazy. Like a lot of guys that I've played with, they want to wear the other brands. Like they don't, or they might wear the other brands like, at the house or something like that. They wear it, but it's just like, you can't come out the house and wear it.
But like, what
Right.
happens if
These
you
guys.
like, you have like the Under Armour or like the Li Ning deal,
Yeah.
where it's like, man, I don't want to wear these shoes.
Yeah, it's tough. I've had a lot of guys.
But with Q4, your deal was structured that on court you had to wear Q4, but then off court you were free to
whatever I wanted.
So
I
how
love that.
how
I loved
important
it.
was that to like put in the contract? Like, would you have done the deal if you couldn't wear whatever you wanted off court? Because that's pretty rare, right?
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, I don't think that's even in the conversation with any shoe brand. Like, I think you have to wear whatever you wear on the court. You got to wear, something along that line off the court. But yeah, I structured it where I was like, hey, look, if I'm gonna work with you guys, like, and you guys are really gonna, kind of pub me and let me do whatever I want to do with the shoe, hey, off the court, I gotta do whatever I want. So when they said that, I said, hey, look, let's go. So
That's like the
It's a
again
win-win.
rare and like the best of both worlds
It's a
because you could
win-win.
still build your collection and then on court you're wearing the brand that you're endorsing.
exactly.
It feels tough though, because you see a lot of those players who have like the Adidas or like the Under Armour deal. The only like loophole that they have is like they can wear like Balenciaga outside of it. And
Oh,
you're
right,
like,
because it's not a competitor,
Yeah,
right?
not a
You can
competitor.
wear
and you're
it
like,
in
but
the
do you really,
hours.
but you're like, do you
Yeah,
really
I
want to wear Balenciaga? I don't know. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah, like a lot of guys try to stray away from like the designer shoes, quote unquote. Like that's it's you spending a pretty big grip on some designer shoes, and you wearing them once or twice, and then all right, what I'm gonna wear now?
Yeah.
But
when you see guys come out the tunnel, because it's always kind of like this peacocking like fashion show, or it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you can one up each other. Do you ever like see someone wear something and you almost kind of like laugh inside with how like ridiculous it is?
I'm trying to think back. I mean, I've seen a couple. Nothing. I don't know. Nothing's like kind of like shocked me at this point.
Yeah.
Like guys have walked out with the slides.
Yeah.
It's you just don't know what you're gonna see. Like you see Steven Adams, for example, walking out with some flip flops on, no socks. You're like, all right. Yeah.
Oh, really? He did that?
Yeah, he did that. Yeah.
Were they nice, or were they
were
like?
just
Was
some
it a
regular-
nice slide?
I think it was some Adidas. Adidas slides. It
Oh,
was
okay.
like,
At least it's not that. What is the Brazil ones? The ones with the Brazilian.
Javianas?
Yeah,
yeah,
you see him at the beach.
I seen those. I'm like, dog, what are we doing here? But people, they just, they whoever they are, like they represent that. They want to show off their own like physique, and I'm like, hey, look, to each his own, for sure.
That one season where you were wearing custom painted shoes like every other game.
Yep.
How much work went into that? The Dumb and Dumber one sticks out as like such a classic one great movie, obviously. But how many like different iterations of the custom Q4 sneaker did you have that year?
So we tried to do one per game. It was tough because, when you're traveling, I got to make a call in advance to my customizer, which was my guy, Andrew Lewis. He was like, yo, like, all right, we're going to figure out 2 games in advance. I got to ship this to Utah because you're going to Utah. All right, now you're going to Dallas. Now you're going to Houston. So we had to like always think in advance of, all right, what colorway can we go with? What design? What cartoon? What movie? What do we want to hit? What's the kind of main focus? And so I think we got to game 66 and then COVID happened.
Oh.
And so probably the year before that, I did about 50 pairs. And then, season was over.
Yeah.
Then fast forward to the following year, I was doing every game. Boom, boom, knocking them out every single game. And then 66 game came, and then COVID happened. And I was like, dang. People don't even remember I rocked Kobe and Gigi pair because we played against the Sixers. I was in Detroit. And I was like, yo, like, this going to blow up. And then literally, like, the game ends. And then, like, I remember they rushed me to the media and was like, yo, like, we need you to talk. I'm talking to the media, and they're like, the season might be over. Like, COVID's going on. Like, because, Gobert had just tested positive. And we was like, yo, what are we going to do now?
What a moment.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And it's like, now that being in history books, when you look back, you're like, dang, like.
Did you ever have a pair that like didn't show up on time, or you were like kind of stressed, like checking the tracking on it?
There's a couple
Yo,
games.
We've all been in those moments of like, I'm about to go on vacation,
Yeah.
and this shoe I ordered, like, it better fucking get here because I need to pop out for the IG photo on the beach with these shoes.
Yeah, I need those. And it's like I was at the game one time. My shoes still aren't there. I'm like, yo, like what
Like
am I
in the locker room.
I'm in the
maybe.
locker room.
Yeah.
I'm like about to warm up. I'm like, yo, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm like telling my security, like, yo, I think there's a package at the hotel. Like, just pick it up. If you see it, grab it and bring it. Literally, like, we get to the arena. I'm working out. Like, I put my phone down, working on the court.
Yeah.
Finish that. I get back to the locker room. He's like, yo, is this it? And I was like, whew. That was probably the closest moment I came to out of any game. But every other game, we was cool. Everything else worked out. So.
How big of a deal was it for you when they changed the color guidelines on sneakers in the NBA? Like, how hyped were you in that moment? And did you feel like that's just, time to go?
It was huge. It was huge for me because I like, a lot of kudos to PJ, like Montrez, all the guys that, wearing crazy kicks on the court. I was like, yo, like, they got it. I was like, what's something I can differentiate myself from in the league that nobody else is doing? A couple guys that did colorways where they customized a little bit here and there. LeBron had did a couple in the past.
Yeah.
But I was like, yo, like, nobody's doing it consistently, like where it's like it's highlighting something specifically on the court. Then that's when I came out, did a couple colorways, and then the fans were like, yo, what you gonna wear tomorrow? What you gonna wear to this game? I'm like, okay, well,
This is a thing.
Yeah, it's like this is starting to pop a little bit. And then I got to probably game like 10 or 12 or something like that. And then I wore the Tour Story pair. And it blew up. Like my social media, like everybody was like capturing it, trying to figure out like, all right, what are you gonna do with this pair? I'm like, I'm just about to put it in storage and that's it.
Yeah.
And then my PR guy, he's like, yo, like, I think I got something for you. Like, I think we could do something special with this. They took my pair and was like, yo, we're gonna put him in the Hall of Fame. So I was like, hey, look, whatever happens with my career, like at least I say a piece of me is in the Hall of Fame.
That's a big deal.
Does
Huge,
team
huge.
PR like your PR guy, or does the
This is
team?
team. This is
So
team
so
PR.
when that happens and like there's a swell of like attention for a pair of sneakers that
Yep.
you wore, does like the PR guys from the team be like, hey, we have to like parlay this into something else? Like they're aware of it.
It depends on like your like kind of PR person and how close you are to them. Like most of them knew like, hey, they knew I was a big sneakerhead, but like they didn't know in how big that moment would be in that shoe. Like, you know, it's just a regular shoe, but the movie was coming out, I think a couple months or something like that after that.
Would that have been Toy Story 4?
4, I think, yeah.
Have you seen Lightyear yet?
My son's 4, and we've seen all of them.
I need to see the new Buzz Lightyear
Did you
movie.
see Woody getting sturdy this week?
Yeah, I saw that. I did see that. Oh yeah,
That was
I
amazing.
did see that. I was like, yo, this is different.
Yeah,
man.
he killed it. He killed it.
Wait, Toy Story 4 is like the really depressing one, right?
I think so. One of them, like he gets taken or something like that. Something happened. Something crazy
think maybe
happened. I've seen so like I watch them too much that I don't know. Which
One where
which.
they go to like they go out of town and then like Woody just decides he's like my run's up. And then,
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he just ruined it for a lot of kids out there.
Yeah.
Ruined it for a lot of kids. Yeah.
I want to ask you about. So you went to college in Philly,
Philly,
right?
yep.
St. Joe's.
Yep.
Philly, obviously, like a sneaker city, but has like its own kind of sneaker traditions, like outside of
Yep.
New York. You know, places like City Blue,
Yep.
Joseph's. I don't know if you ever had been there.
I've never been to Joseph. I've been to Ubique.
Joseph's was like this like Korean-owned like old school like
Mom and pop shop.
in North Philly that had like all like the OG shoes just sitting in.
I must
in
have
the,
missed it. I
in the
must have just
back.
missed it then.
Yeah, and it got actually got ransacked like during all like the riots and all that sort of
Oh, for
stuff. So
real?
it's like R.I.P.
Yeah.
But what was it like being in Philly and like what were you copying back then? Was there anything special or?
Yeah, you know, at the time I had just gotten into, you know, having a couple dollars in my pocket. Like, I worked a couple camps and got a couple dollars because, NIL wasn't a thing at that point. It was just like, hey, look, you gotta make it do.
Enjoy
what you
your
do.
meal plan.
Yeah, exactly. So, got a little money. I bought my favorite shoe of all time is Jordan 13 He Got Games, and I was like, yo, like that's the first shoe I got to get when I got to Philly. It came out, I bought it. Cool, it's in my collection.
It was easy to buy. Did you have to line up? Did you have to?
Yeah, it was easy to buy. The pair that I actually was in line for when I was in college was the Ferraris. The Jordan 14 Ferraris came out.
Good shoe.
I waited. So crazy story. I was in line all night for that one. I went out to the club because we had just played the game. Went to the club after the game, and like literally we just passed by the shoe store right before we go home. And we saw like a couple people in the line. We was like, oh, we need to go get our chairs. Like I dropped my dude off. Like, yo, stay here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some chairs. I'm gonna get some blankets for us, and we're gonna just camp out here.
Wow.
And we camped out for that pair, and
Did people
How'd you
know
pass
who
the
you
time?
were in the line? Like,
we went to sleep.
Okay.
We literally went to sleep. Like
Okay.
we had a blanket. Me and my boy, we literally laid there, and we had a chair. Camped out, just tried to stay warm as possible because it was cold. Philly's always cold.
yeah. Was
And,
it rowdy in line at all?
No,
or-
it was kind of chill. Everybody was like kind of sitting down, like in their own chairs, and
You had somebody go do the Egg McMuffin run.
yeah, everybody was just chilling. And then probably like 8:30, like sun starts to come up, and people start standing up. Everybody's ready, knocking on the door, trying to all right, let's go. They see people moving inside, and the next thing you know, we made it. We I think it was like by the time we left, it was probably like 50 people in line. We were like number 10 in line. So I was like, hey.
What was the club fit looking like back then?
It was terrible. It was terrible. Just like some jeans and just like some, some labeled name shirt that,
Sure.
it has something.
Did you have to like throw in the Stacey Adams or something like that to get in the
I
club?
don't even know what I had on. What I wear? I think I had some Air Max or something like that on.
Yeah.
Just something simple. But yeah, now my collection, like, it just started when I got to college. And then that's when I started going crazy. Like, every release started coming out, started camping, started making trades.
You were camping out regularly for shoes in college?
Yeah. In college, I was camping out left and right.
A lot of those overnight type things?
Yeah, a lot of overnight ones. We had, they had one on South Street that we camped out at. I can't remember the name of the store, but they had like one Jordan that was coming out, and I was like, yo, we got to get those. And me and my boy, we out there, got a pair. And then I had a couple connections at Foot Locker, at KOP.
But then you're like, your like fortunes go because you go from Philly and then you go to New York.
Yeah.
So it's like
it jumped crazy. I remember one story when I went from Philly to New York. One of my boys, he was from New York, that went to St. Joe's with me. And he's like, yo, we got to go to 21 Mercer, man. And I'm like, yo, I don't even know what that is, but come on, we going.
Yeah.
We go in there. They open up the back room, and they're like, yo, you can customize whatever Air Force.
The bespoke?
Yeah. I'm like, yo. G-Nights, all I know is, from being from Louisiana, like, all I know is G-Nights and, like, just white on white to black on black. Like, that's all I knew. He's like, yo, you do whatever you want with it. I'm like, all right, let's go. Like,
Was it intimidating?
It was intimidating. I ain't gonna lie. It was intimidating.
I thought you were just going to, like, they're just going to give you the white palette. And you're like, all right, I'm done. I'm good.
Let me get the G-Nights.
I wish.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, I got to go crazy.
Yeah.
If I'm going to do anything, I'm going to go crazy. And, I told him before it closed down, I was like, yo, I want to do a pair with my jersey. I wanted to, like, cut my whole jersey up and put it on the shoe. Never worked out. It closed right before
But did you get to do one bespoke?
Yeah, I did. I did.
Have you posted that? I don't know if I've seen that.
I don't think I posted that one. Yeah, no, it's at the crib. It's at the crib right now.
What did you
I've done
do?
2
What
or
was
3.
the colorway?
It was like a gray overlay with like a paint, water paint swoosh, brown midsole, and then I think that was it. Yeah.
Was it inspired by? Did you were like, oh, I'm gonna do a story from my childhood, or you were just like, I want to make it.
Just wanted to do something different.
Just look cool.
Yeah, something simple. Like it looks like a dress shoe. Like I could wear like with a suit.
You can go back to the club. No Stacey Adams.
Yeah.
Were you into like flipping colorways on Nike ID back in the day?
Yeah. Nah, I was doing it all the time. Like our coaches, they never used their Nike ID accounts, so they was like, yo.
They had money credit loaded into there.
Credit loaded up. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? And then I was like, it's like, can I use a pair? He's like, yeah, do whatever you want to do.
This is the Young Thug meme where it's Thug and Dirk, and he's on the computer, and you're like there designing the colorways for the coach.
He walk out the room, I'd be on the computer.
What shoe was it?
I did 2K4s back then.
Oh, nice.
They had some. I'm trying to think what other. They had the Kobe's. You could do the Kobe's.
Oh, you did all like on court shoes.
Yeah,
right?
all on court shoes. Yeah, I never did anything off court. My little cousin, she actually like would come in because I had a family member on the staff as well.
Yeah.
He never let me use it. He's like, yo, like I gotta get this for my family. But I was like, cool. But his daughter used to do all like the Hirachis and different things like that, like just walk around shoes.
That must have been so much fun though to have access to that and be like, wait, I get to just hop on Nike ID and make the shoes for the
you felt it like entitled a little bit. Like you go on there and it's like an open window. You can just do whatever you want to do and just go. And I was like, cool, let's do it.
I know we've had the talk on here before too, Joe. I think you mentioned it. Maybe I'm wrong. You mentioned it where you're like, you think you're gonna design like the illest colorway on Nike ID. You try to put it together, and you're like, man, my design sucks.
Yeah,
it's terrible. It's terrible.
Well, it's like it never comes out the way that you want. Like that, you picture it in your head, and then I just like close the window.
It's tough. It's tough.
Did you see all those? Speaking of bespoke, all those bespoke Air Force Ones that they made for Serena?
Yeah.
Last night. What were your
No, I'm a huge fan of Serena, obviously, but just to see like them really giving her like the curtain call, like this is amazing.
There's a special pair. Did you ask Kobe to sign a pair of sneakers? Was it the 11s or Kobe 11s? It was a pair of Kobe's that he signed for you after a game.
Yep.
Talk about that moment.
Yeah, no, that was huge.
Was that when you were in New York?
Yeah, I was in New York. I think that was my second year. So the first time we played him, we didn't know he was retiring. Then second time played him, we knew he was retiring. And so after the game, I'm like, yo, what should I ask for? Like, should I try to get a jersey? But I was like, nah, that's not me. Like, I'm not gonna ask for no jersey. Like, especially if I don't know you. So I was like, yo, I had on my Kobe's for the game. I'm like, yo, if I can get him to sign this pair, I think this would be dope. So I ended up. I was like, yo, I'm gonna just wait by the locker room.
Were you nervous?
Oh yeah. I was nervous. I was like, I don't know if I should do this, man. Like, this is Kobe. Like, he's intimidating, but like, competitor on the court. Like, I love playing against Kobe. A couple times, scored a couple buckets. So I was like, oh, but this was at the end of his career. This wasn't like, number 8 Kobe. Like, it was different. But I was like, yo, I'm gonna wait by the locker room. Waited. They're like, yo, he hasn't left. He's in the back. He's showering. Like, he's gonna take some time. I'm like, look, I'm gonna wait here. We wasn't leaving that night anyway. We were staying the night. So I was like, cool. Waited there probably like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Came out. I'm like, Kobe, man, big fan, man. Would you sign it? Man, yeah, for sure. Signed it. And I just remember him saying, man, look, good luck with everything. And, I really, enjoy watching your game. And because I actually had a good game against the Lakers. I know he played really good against the Lakers. So
it wasn't something he was just saying,
Yeah, it wasn't like just a made up like, oh, you're a bench player. All right, cool.
Right.
Man, hey,
Was that thought like in your head though, like the whole game where you're like the whole game you're thinking about like what happens, and in your head you're like, man, I really don't want to foul the shit out of Kobe during this game because if I do, when I go ask him for the shoes, he's gonna
shoot the game. Yeah. Nah. I never crossed my mind, but I was like, anytime I got a chance to play against any of the superstars in the league, like I'm trying to bust their ass, like for real, like I'm trying to go right at them.
Yeah.
And that you gain respect from that, like just trying to, I'm not going to do too much, I'm gonna be back off.
Right.
They don't respect that. You got to go right at
them. Are
them.
there players like that in the NBA who it's like, oh, this is the superstar, I don't want to.
Oh yeah, it's ton of guys. Like they just like, I got to respect them, man. I don't want to do too much. But I'm like, hey, look, you're gonna gain somebody's respect. You got to go right at them.
Right.
That's the only way I know
they're gonna remember you.
Yeah,
too.
they're like, man, this dude played me hard, man. Like, good, bad, and different. No matter what they score on you, what they do, like you just got to go right at them.
Yeah. We got to talk about your own sneaker brand.
Yeah.
Because that's a big part of your footwear journey. Can you tell me how you made that leap and just how much you invested in it and how big that was for you to do?
Yeah, no, it was huge. I mean, you have 2 colorways here.
Can I see the shoe?
Yeah, sure, yeah. You guys can check them out.
What's the model name?
So this is the frozen cores right here. You could pass them around, and then this is the pistachio colorway, and then I have on. And this is, the big reason why I wanted to come on and talk about it. I have the superhero gumbos on right now that's on my feet. So that's inspired by my son. So he wanted to put a whole bunch of colorways together that he loves. And I went with it. And so, I'm really excited about the journey that we're on.
When did Ethics Brand start?
So when I was with Q4, which was probably about 2.5 years, 3 years ago, I was like, what could we do? Just talking with my wife, I was like, what could we do? Like, should we stay with Q4 or should I go on my own? And she was opposed to it. She's like, no, like, let's just stay with them. Like, it's guaranteed. Like, they're going to take care of us. But then I asked them, I was like, the contract's coming to an end. I want creative control. Like, that's all I wanted. And they kind of they were hesitant, real hesitant. Like, no, I don't know.
Creative control to make your own shoe?
Make my own shoe, yeah, because I had already, like, told him, like, hey, look, I have a creative mind. Like, I love, like, creating different things and, like, just coming up with different models and just working on stuff. Because I have a sketchbook that I sketch a lot of stuff.
Okay.
And so when I was, like, figuring it out, I was like, look, I have this right here. Like, look, check this out. Like, I'm not going to, they thought I was going to copy off of somebody. I'm like, I'm not about to copy off anybody. I mean, I'm going to have inspirations from different shoes, yes. But I'm not going to just copy blatantly off of, any other brand. And so they said, no, we're not going to give you creative control. And so then I started in my mind, like, hey, let me start reaching out to people, trying to figure out how we can have our tech pack made. And reach out to my guy, Brett Golliff. Big shout out to my guy. That's
shout out to Brett.
Complex Sneakers OG.
Yeah.
Big sneaker OG. That's my guy. He, we're always on calls every single day, texts, FaceTime, just trying to figure out ideas.
Were you ever like, did you ever consider just, I mean, I know it's a dream of yours, but were you just like, damn, this takes way more work than I thought. I'm done with this.
When I was in the middle of it, like, that's when I really figured out, like, dang, like, this is a lot. It's a lot of work. Like, people don't realize, like, all the work and time and effort that it takes to build a shoe. And, you see a lot of people that are coming out with a lot of just walk-around shoes.
Yeah.
But this is an athletic shoe. Like, it's a performance-based shoe.
Playing basketball, yeah.
Playing basketball, and, like, I don't want to go on the court and it fall apart. Like, and so we really we made about 10 to 15 different samples, different colors, just trying to figure out, like, hey, what's gonna work. And we got to this point. We're already working on shoe 2, 3 already. Okay. So we're excited. We're really excited about, like, the journey. And it's not just, like, all about, oh man, like, we knew that it was gonna blow up overnight. It's not gonna happen because people are just, they're hesitant. They don't want to. They don't know what to expect. They don't know what's going on with the shoe. But over time, I think that we just continue to prove the doubters wrong.
What would you say is the biggest difference between, like, going out and playing in this, which is like a performance shoe that you design, versus, there's a lot of the other guys out there who try to be, like, sneaker relevant in the NBA, but they're playing in a pair of, like, retro 3s or pair of retro 10s that I guess you can play basketball in them, but they don't seem like the smartest choice if you're trying to get your best performance.
Nah, it's I mean, no knock to no brand, but it's just like if I was to think about the difference between like creating your own brand, creating something that you can think back and it's a legacy piece. Like that's what I wanted. I wanted the legacy piece, but not just like, oh, that's the only reason why I came up with it. I was like, hey, look, I'm an underdog. Like, you know, I was undrafted. You know, I'm going on year 9 for me. Like this is year 9 coming up, and I'm like, I just wanted to do something different, something for the guys that are, you know, the underdogs, the guys that are unproven, the guys that, you know, have, you know, got out the mud. Yeah. And I wanted to create a brand that was kind of resemble me, something different, something that people kind of like can gravitate to, something that people can like, oh man, like it's not just about the shoe, because you can go out and just buy any shoe and just say, hey, this is a shoe, I'm gonna rock it.
Right.
But it's like something that has a purpose, something that has a meaning behind it. So that's why I really just wanted to do something different, and that's been my whole career, doing something different. Here it is.
What's the turnaround on like new designs? So when you have ideas and you talk to Brett or whatever, what's like the turnaround on a brand new design?
Yeah, so we have the next 3 colorways. So I said this colorway is coming out like the middle of September.
This is the gumbo one.
Gumbo colorway. This will be out end of September. And what I do, I'll take it off real fast so I can put it on the table so you guys can see it. So this one will be out in September. I wanted to resemble a colorway I have coming out from HBCU back home, Baton Rouge, Southern University. That'll be another colorway coming out, and then the last colorway would be like a really specific pair that we have a slogan that's anywhere and everywhere, and so it'll be specific just for that. So,
what do you think about lately? I guess that's a recent trend that we saw with a lot of the sneaker brands. Inking big deals with a lot of HBCUs. Mm-hmm. I know like FAMU has the LeBron deal. I think Howard just did a Jordan deal.
Yeah, no, it's big. It's big. I think that, you know, society is seeing what HBCUs have done for history. Like, if you go back in time, like, there's been so many guys that have made their name going through HBCUs, you know, football, basketball, you know, tennis players, you know, even the musicians, like, you know, most of them are from HBCUs.
Sure.
So to really give them like some props and some recognition, like that's huge. So I think that it's the wave right now. I think you got to be a part of it and really, you know, get behind it, because I think that most of these brands, like sometimes they understand the relevance of like what they're doing for the HBCUs, but some of them don't. They just you know, we'll give you whatever you want, but like, you know, really impacting. And that's what I like, the few schools that I'm already like connected with that are partnerships that we have, AAU programs. We're working on deals with a couple female athletes and a couple, you know, high school kids that are coming up through the rings right now.
You're trying to do the NIL thing?
We're trying to like find a way to like make them understand like we're creating a brand that, you know, you can create your own model through. And that's what I think that people, you know, they say, oh man, I just want to have my own PE, or
you know,
give
me a colorway.
Give me a colorway. But it's like, nah, like I want to be able to speak to these kids and make them understand, like, hey, look, it's more than just like a shoe. It's an impact. This is something that can change a lot of lives and a lot of people that can come about and want to be a part of ethics. Like, you know, it's not just about the brand, but it's about, hey, about who you are, what is something that comes from your inner soul and something that, you know, you were raised up on that means that much to you.
Yeah. Were you trying to, I know you have the website and you're selling them through there. Are you trying to get them in stores at all, or are you trying to just do all DTC?
Just all e-commerce.
Yeah.
All e-commerce. I think
DTC.
that like it's tough. Like when you go in stores, like it's just not the same impact as it used to be as when I feel like as all of us were kids. Like,
sure.
You know, the impact isn't the same anymore. Like going to like a Foot Locker or something like that, like, and selling them. When you're, you know, you kind of go. I'm trying to work on different ways to do pop-ups and different things like that around the country. Like, go and do that. I think that's more impactful than just, you know.
I feel like it's tough too, because I just remember like working at Foot Locker all the years. Is that like the shoe wall is kind of like dictated by the brands,
Yeah.
you know, where it's like you walk in and it's like the brands pay for like the like at Foot Locker you had like the premium cutout section, you know, where it's like these 4 shoes get placed in here and it's kind of like dictated by Nike wanting to put these shoes in here. So it's like not every brand gets an equal shot of representation at a sneaker store. So being that, you know, that you're like an independent sneaker brand, even if you got placed into a Foot Locker, you're like one shoe's going to get placed like all the way in the bottom at the corner where no one's ever going to see it.
Right.
So you mean like you say like going into a store may not even be like
it's like, why do I want to be in there if you're not going to give my brand its due, like, and you're not going to make it look special or help explain to people, then like I don't need to be on your shelf, especially if you're going to I'm not going to make as much money off it as I am selling it directly.
Exactly. And it's like you don't get a chance to like completely tell the story.
Right.
I mean, you know, it's great to have like people, they want to have something tangible and touch it and feel it and, oh, okay, this is good. Let me try it on. But it's like, you know, if you're going to make the risk, I mean, most of the shoes nowadays, people are buying them offline anyway, or like I like this shoe, I'm going to just grab it. Like, no, it's never like a...
It's never a thought process,
it's never
right?
a thought
Like you never have the
process.
time to think about it.
Just buy the shoe. But that's not what it is. Like, you know, if you really love the shoe and you want to try it out, hey, go on the site and we can tell you more about the story as we continue to grow. But, you know, that's what it's all about for us.
Are you going to be the only athlete signed to the brand, or do you have your sights set on maybe signing some NBA players to the brand?
No, I'm, you know, right now I'm just the signature athlete right now. You know, these are the LG ones. So I'm trying to like get all these different guys in them, like, you know, not just males, but females as well. Like trying to have like, you know, it be a broad range. And that's what I feel like if people really want to be a part of it, it's not like we figured the process out, like the process of how to turn it around really fast. Like I said, we already were on 2 and 3 already. So we've kind of figured it out. Like our manufacturer has been great and we figured out the process now. Now it's just like, hey, look, who do we want to align with that makes sense and feel like they can help us, you know, continue to push it and have that same messaging that I want to have behind it. So.
Someone who's wear tested, design your own sneakers. Looking back, is there a signature line that sticks out as like clearly for you the best signature line to play in throughout the years as you were coming up?
I mean, you know, everybody says the Kobe's. You know, Kobe's was great for on the court. Like he really did a lot of like impacting when it came to like the time he took out and like, you know, he did research. He, you know, he wanted to put every single detail into a shoe. And so he really did a good job. I mean, I can't knock what he's done over his career of like the shoes, like the impact he did for the community. Yeah. And like, you know, it's a basketball shoe, but it's also, you know, off the court shoe. Like a lot of people wear it off the court now. That line has been great. And then I think KD's another one. Like LeBron, like I remember like LeBron early on, like he was killing the game. Like I remember every single event that, you know, I played in, like it was all about LeBron, like the soldiers. And
did you ever try to hoop in the LeBron 4s? You think you could do it?
I don't think I could do it.
Too heavy.
I could wear them off the court now, and I have them in my collection. I will say that I do have them in my collection. I rock LeBron's off the court, yes, but on the court, I'm a guard. Like, you know, these everybody's like, oh, they're heavy, this and that, but they're really light to me. Yeah, I guess I can't speak for everybody else, but like, you know, I'm just shifty. I'm trying to like get up the court real fast, playing defense. It locks me down. Like that's what I want to do.
What was the worst sneaker you ever played in?
Ooh.
Maybe that you tried, like maybe not the best functional, but you're like, I'm going to give these a shot. Was there any that you're like, I can't do this ever again?
I'm trying to think what, because I mean, there's a couple, but I don't know if I was just, I'm not
even
gonna
one
say,
that you would, even one that you would
say
have loved.
ones that's blown up on me. I've had a couple blown up.
That's fair. Yeah,
I've had a couple blown up, so I've worn some older ones. I wore the old school Lisa Leslie Hirachis. No, 2K4. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. I wore those in a game. They blew up on me. I wore a pair of Kobe 4s. They blew up on me. Older pair. Some Jordan 11 lows blew up on me in a game. Like I've had a lot of pairs blow up on me. Like not even a sense of like, you know, like where the shoe, your foot goes through the shoe and nothing like that, but just like the whole sole, just like.
I feel like that's like it's so embarrassing. I think I remember that happened to like. This is like super random name. It was like happened to like Tony Roten back in the day.
Yeah, Tony Roten, Nick Young.
He like the shoe, the sole came off the shoe, and then like there was a reporter who like misquoted him saying that like Michael Jordan said like sorry or he owes me a pair of shoes or something like that.
What
And
happened?
and I think he said it in jest, and it got like reported as like factual, like whatever. So it's like causes.
Is it awkward? The team got to call a timeout, or what happens?
When it happens, normally you just throw the shoe aside and like you try to hold on as long as you can.
Yeah.
But I've been very lucky where there's always been like you try to foul somebody real fast and they try to get to the sideline.
Interesting.
Like the equipment guy, like you'll run up and down the court a couple of times and you know what's happening. Like you know it's coming. And like, cause you can feel your shoe start like, all right, it's starting to come apart, it's wobbling. Then I'll tell, hey, at the time, like, whatever equipment manager I'm with, yo, go get my other pair, and then they run back, get a pair. Then I'll foul. Coach, sub me real quick. Yeah, get a sub. All right, I'm good.
Do you ever like feel like when that happens, it's almost like, man, that was like a selfish decision to make, where you're wearing a pair of old retro basketball sneakers, where you're like, you really shouldn't be playing in those anyways, and now like your shoe falls apart like during the game, and you have to like collect a foul to like get it, and it kind of like puts your team in a weird position.
I wouldn't say it's selfish, because you know what, a lot of dudes like in the league, they look forward to whatever you're wearing on the court. Like I for example, like PJ, like he's done a heck of a job with blowing up the culture of like sneakers. But like him coming out with all these different shoes like on the court, like people like look forward to like him wearing that. Like even his teammates, like I know for a fact, like, all right, what you wearing tonight? And then all of a sudden he'll pull out the box. You're like, oh, dang, you wearing those? So like I remember when I was like wearing all these crazy kicks, my teammates be like, all right, what you wearing tonight? Yeah. And I have it in the box. I pull out the box. Oh, you got them tonight? Yeah. Oh man, like even when I was with the Suns, I remember pulled out a crazy pair like CP hadn't seen in years. Yo, where'd you get those? Like, and it makes them like
Best reaction.
they get like excited,
Definitely.
And so it's dope. It's dope to see that reaction from like, guys that they've been doing it for years, and they got crazy colorways, crazy shoes that been going on for years.
Who's it? My man on the Thunder, who was wearing like Air Max 90 mids?
That was
Cephalosha. That was one of the weirdest like NBA sneaker wears I remember ever. Like Air Max 90.
But he did it for years. It wasn't just like that was like what he.
I asked him one time. I said, "Bro, why are you wearing those?" Yeah. He said, "They're comfortable." I said, I guess. All right.
Like, what, did you go try them on after? Like, could this really work for me?
Look, I've had a couple people overseas. They say they do say Air Max are like very comfortable. I mean, I don't know the hooping though.
Yeah, imagine you pull up in some like 95s or
something. The one thing I want to throw out in your collection to alley-oop you, literally, Brendan. I know you have both of the Oregon 3s in your collection.
Yep.
Brendan, obviously, Oregon alum.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
This is true. This is true.
Have you reached out to the guys over there?
I would never ask anybody.
You wouldn't ask anybody?
No. I had the original Pit Crew 3s in college.
Did you?
Yeah.
And?
I did. I don't have them anymore. Let's just put it like that. Shout out to eBay.
There you go. Yeah. I have most of like the colleges.
PEs, you have a lot.
Do you feel like a traitor at all when you pull out the like? Because
like the Marquette 3s
for those of us who we're in the trenches in Eugene.
Nah.
At the food court like that.
I feel like I went to Oregon too. Whatever school I'm rocking, I'm like, I went to school. People don't even know either. Like, unless people know you, they don't know what school you went to. Unless they like really know you. Like,
so bro, go Ducks.
They be like, oh yeah, man, you went to Oregon? Yeah, I went to Oregon. Like,
straight up lie to them.
Yeah. Like,
meanwhile, you're like,
you can't lie to me, like,
you're patiently waiting on like a St. Joe's like retro P.
That'd be crazy. That'd be a Jameer Nelson something collab. Come together. But him and Delonte, man, big shout out to them, man. They put the culture on for sure at St. Joe's. So,
How'd you get the Drake Lil Wayne pair? Was that a connect or what? There has to be a story behind that. There has to be.
He's going into the sneaker closet.
Yeah.
And you have to tell it.
I'll tell it. So the guys in Miami, right? They always are looking out for me. I'm really cool with the ball boys and the guys on the team.
Okay.
And so I'm like, yo, we better play y'all. Like, I need some stores to hit up. My dude's like, yo, I got the store. Like, they got the Drake Lil Wayne's. Like, it's not too crazy right now because at the time it was like, it was a pretty decent price. Mm-hmm. He said, look, but nobody's trying to touch that price because, it's kind of out there.
It's a high price, but still a relatively good price for what it is.
For what it is. Because I knew, like, hey, it's going to blow up one day, and it's as nostalgia continues to go about, like, people are going to blow up the price. And I go in there, I'm checking them out, looking at them, like, all right, dang, is this worth it?
Can I
Is it
try
worth
'em on?
it? Yeah, I didn't need to try them on.
Yeah.
Like, it was a size 12. I was like, 12 to 13, I could fit that. And so I'm like, all right, man, let's do it. And I like literally I pulled the trigger.
6,000?
Yeah. Oh no, not even that much.
Oh, really?
No,
okay.
Wow.
Way
See, and
down.
that's like already looks like an amazing investment because
Yeah,
I feel like you
great.
could sell that shoe.
Yeah.
I don't always want to come back to the resale value, but I feel like you could sell that shoe for like 15 right now, right?
Yeah,
Am
I feel like that's not like the best shoe.
No, it's just one shoe. It's just one shoe. Yeah.
No, I mean,
you
like
talking about the shoe in general?
The shoe, it kind of looks like a GS colorway a little bit. Am I bugging?
with the
It's
orange.
all black. It's all black.
But with like
I'm
the,
not mad at
like,
it.
I mean, you got the OVO logo in there.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of simple. It's like the Black Cats almost.
Yeah.
All like fully leather.
Yeah. Fully leather.
Does Drake know you have them? Does Lil Wayne know you have them?
I don't know. You know,
Louisiana?
I don't know him like that. I don't know him like that. You know, but it is what it is. Maybe
Yeah.
one day.
Yeah. Did you wear them in game at all?
No. I'm not a PJ guy. Like,
Okay.
I can't do what PJ does.
Yeah.
Big shout out to him, man.
Of course.
he can rock whatever on the court. I'm like, no way.
No Air Max 90s for me.
Man, my feet will be killing after that game. Yeah.
Listen, thank you so much. Anything else we should be looking out for in the immediate future for the brand? Like when's the next drop or
Yep.
still working that out? Or
So around like September 15th to 20th, this colorway, the gumbo colorway, will be dropping. We have apparel coming out soon.
Nice.
And then we have a few announcements coming up. We know with some athletes, so we're excited.
You about to sign Matt Welty?
yeah.
Hey, look, I'm about to have to get you guys all a pair so you can check
Yeah.
it out. Get you guys
Absolutely.
a pair.
Absolutely.
I went 4 for 4 from the free throw line at the convention a couple
the
weeks
pop
ago.
shop.
Yeah.
Got sold.
Just let me know.
Yeah. Nah,
Just let
I
me
know you
know.
guys rock, your brands
Yeah.
that you rock, but yeah, nah.
No,
You ever
happy
see
to
his
support.
basketball game?
Yeah, I've seen it.
And just so we say,
the famous picture. Of him.
but of course,
Yeah.
I
go
am significantly worse than Welty at basketball. Let's
I mean,
At least they've seen it, right?
I was about to say, but I mean, I saw you did the marathon this past week.
Yeah.
I saw
So,
that. I saw
okay.
that. Joe, I haven't seen anything from you yet.
No athletic feats.
I don't know, Joe. You got to come out there with something.
I
Something's
know.
got
I know.
Something's got to hit
I'm
the
working on
page.
it. I may join Lady in the Gramps a couple years.
Okay. Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see
Give me a
if
couple
we can
years,
find
I
a
might
slot
just,
for you.
Give me a couple years, I might just
Yeah.
break in.
I'm about to say,
Words.
he breaks all like the nostalgia. Like I saw the episode when you had all the exclusive like signed Jordans.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
That was dope.
Crazy
That was
collection.
dope. That
Thanks,
collection's
yeah.
crazy.
Nuts.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Langston, thank you so much. Feels like it was overdue that you came through. So really
sure.
appreciate your time. Good luck with everything and the brand. And yeah, thanks so much, man.
Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, me and my wife Sabrina Galloway, big
Yes.
shout out to her. She's
Yes.
running the whole thing, and
Amazing.
I'm just the signature athlete, a part of the brand. She's the one that's putting it all together. So big shout out to her.
Shouts to Sabrina. All right, everyone. This has been the Complex Sneakers Podcast. We hope everyone has a great weekend. Please like, subscribe, and we will see you next week.